Ann Arbor, Michigan. Paul Sunderland along with Olympic champion and Hall of Famer Rowdy Gaines. 200-meter breaststroke, first for the women. This is the B final. Fastest qualifier among this group, Carrie Haglund, the 23-year-old out of Marietta, Georgia, and Jordan Surhoff, if you remember that name. Her father, B.J. Surhoff, baseball player, very distinguished and long career with the Baltimore Orioles. And where else would she swim but at North Baltimore? This is the B final. Women's final featuring Caitlin Leverins will be coming up in just a moment.
Jordan Surhoff, her father and mother Wendy, Polly Wendy, who I swam with many years ago. Her brother Austin swims for Texas, an NCAA champion in the 200 IM.
And Surhoff up in lane 8, getting out nicely, middle of the pool. Tammy Ventorian out of Brazil in lane 5. We mentioned the fastest qualifier at 2:39.81, Carrie Haglund out of the Eagle swim team.
This is a race that has been dominated by Rebecca Soni over the last 2 or 3 years. She came closer to the world record in this race than just about anybody did last year in 2010.
Anna Mae Pierce of Canada set that with a suit, with a very fast suit in Rome at the 2009 World Championships, 2:20.12. And Sony, 2:20.22 in Beijing, was, as you mentioned, Rowdy, that's very, very close, obviously.
And she was 2:20.6 last summer. She will be at the Grand Prix in the future. Has decided not to swim this Grand Prix.
Jasmine Toski up in lane 7 out of Palo Alto and Stanford Aquatics, a 17-year-old. Doing a very nice job here in this 200-meter breaststroke. This is the B final. These are for the qualifiers in this morning's preliminaries, who finished 9 through 16.
This is really one of the great rivalries in the sport today, because Rebecca Soni and Liesl Jones of Australia have been kind of going back and forth. Soni won the 200 breast in Beijing. Jones won the 100 breaststroke. So a lot of people thought that maybe they would have a showdown in this and the 100 breaststroke this summer in Shanghai. And Liesl Jones at the recent World Trials didn't even swim the event. She swam the 50 and 100 breast, won those 2. So they will swim against each other in the 100 breaststroke in Shanghai, but Jones didn't even swim the 200 breaststroke. So it kind of opened the door even more for Soni.
Laying in the weeds a little bit with anticipation of London, little gamesmanship.
Or maybe just tired of swimming at 200.
Just because it's farther, does that mean it's harder?
I don't blame her.
Jasmine Toski out of Palo Alto is going to win this B final up in lane 7. Very nice swim, and in the middle of the pool, battling it out, Tammy Ventorian from Brazil.
Well, we talked about the versatility of Toski, and when she won the 200 butterfly earlier in the program, to come back and now win the 200 breaststroke, that is versatility to the T there.
So Toski wins it in lane 7. In second place, Ventorian, the Brazilian, finishes second, and third in lane 6, Tatiana Sakame out of Brazil. So many Brazilians who've come to Ann Arbor for this particular event. Is this just part of their training schedule? They brought a big part of their plan for the World Championships.
You'll see this a lot of Grand Prix. A lot of the Australians will come to the Santa Clara Grand Prix, which we